So a very warm welcome, dear students and parents. We are in difficult times, and in these difficult times, we've tried to make your life easier. We have with us today, we'll straight away go straight to the topic. We have a very interesting topic today with us, that how students should prepare their career and college selections during this tough COVID times. So we have with us two very distinguished panelists. Mr. Prikshit Dhanda is a very renowned career coach, professionally trained from Harvard University. He's a leading life coach, a motivational speaker with more than 20 years of experience and having guided more than 2 million students. He's all across some of the leading schools in India and overseas, mentoring students right from grade 8 onwards, how they should choose the right career, how they should go through the career choices. But at these difficult times, I think the information that he's going to share with you, what are the career choices, how have trends shift, I think is going to be a very, very interesting session. So a very warm welcome, Mr. Prikshit Dhanda. Welcome to our pavilion. We have with us another very distinguished educationist, Mr. Nirmal Agarwal. He's an economics graduate from Stanford University, US. With more than 200 top-line schools, he's worked as helping them, mentoring them, setting up their complete career counseling processes. And thousands of students he's coached on how to choose the right institution, both in India and overseas. He's also the founder of Cognix Group, a passionate educationist. So I think we are all ready to roll out, and a very warm welcome. So we take it out from here. So Mr. Prikshit, a very warm welcome, and I give on the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Yeah.
And I must also congratulate you. And I really appreciate what you're trying to do for students in these difficult times. And this also goes on to say that if a normal life is disrupted, please understand the world still has to move on, right? We will find other means to deal with life, right? And I congratulate Affairs Exhibitions for conducting such an amazing virtual exhibition. And also welcome my colleague, Nirmal. Nirmal, I think it's great if we start with you, and then, because you're the senior one, you have black hair, I have no hair, so I should come later.
Yeah, if hair be the category. Thank you very much, Prikshit ji. And I call you G, so we all know who the senior one is. But once again, I echo your sentiments. I think congratulations, Sanjeev, Vivek, and the entire affairs team. And that, in fact, is a big testament to what the topic in front of us is today. How to prepare for a career in college selection in COVID-19 is how you can be more innovative. How can you make the best out of the circumstances presented to you? And look at affairs, what they have done. They were the leaders in the physical space with all these affairs happening all over the country and internationally. And look at how quickly they pivoted. And there's this big saying you're going to hear all the time for the last 3 months, you must be hearing already: pivot or perish. You change or you get thrown out of the market. And affairs is a true testament to what pivot or perish means. And congratulations, Sanjeev, Vivek. And I think you are a great example for the students and the parents who are on this seminar with us today, on this webinar with us. I've stopped using the word seminar nowadays. It's all webinars. So without much further ado, I think if hair be the criteria, yes, I'll go first. But I like to look at it as an opening act. When a big singer comes in, so there's always a smaller singer who's given 10, 15 minutes to sing, to get the crowd going, etc. And then the big singer comes on stage, dances his way into millions of hearts. So Prikshit is like that. And when you hear him, you'll know why he's so popular and famous all over the country, with students, with parents, everyone. So you'll get to know. I'm glad I'm getting a chance to go before him, so you'll still listen to me and not get bored later on. So I just want to start with the situation we are in today. I think a lot of you are here because you are looking for options. You are facing a lot of uncertainty. Uncertainty because many of you have not finished your exams, have not completed your ISC or CBSE or state boards. You don't know when the next set of papers will be completed. Even if you have completed, there is no sight of the results. When do the results come out? We don't know when the college admissions are taking place. Some have started, some have put it on hold. The competitive exams are not taking place. So there's a whole bunch of issues out there which we don't have the answers to right now, and no one has the answers to. In fact, colleges and universities are grappling with all these answers right now and all these questions right now, that how do we complete our admissions process? How do we go ahead and select students if they don't have a board result? Because traditionally that's what we've been using. Or how do we select students if they don't have an entrance exam? Because traditionally that's what we've been doing. So in face of this uncertainty that even colleges have, how do you as students and parents understand where to move forward? So that's a big uncertainty in front of you. Obviously the security and safety concerns would be there. Would campuses open in August and September? Would they not open? Would your first semester or first term be online, and then would you be able to join them later on? There were many who were looking at options abroad. Then should you be looking at options in India now, because you may not be able to travel abroad that easily, or you might be scared of going abroad? So what are the options in India, and how do you look? How do we pivot now? How do we decide what to look at given the situation that is in front of us? So we all have to grapple with these things and look out for what is best given the circumstances. And I was hearing, I wish I could share my screen. I wanted to play a video for you. I was hearing Sundar Pichai, who's the CEO of Google and Alphabet, give out his commencement speech, a virtual commencement speech. So I don't know if you are aware that in America, commencement is a big thing. That's when you graduate from, say, high school in class 12, or you graduate from college after doing your undergraduate degree, and you get this big occasion, and parents are attending, and there's a keynote speaker who comes in and speaks. So this year, Facebook and a few other people got together and did this virtual commencement where they got speakers like Sundar Pichai, Barack Obama, Lady Gaga, Oprah Winfrey, to give out these speeches for all the people who have graduated together, whether it's class 12 or college. Sundar Pichai then talks about how things have changed over the years, and how, because he was able to adapt to those changes, he is where he is right now. So he got his first telephone maybe when he was 10 years old in India. He moved on. First time he saw computers or had access to computers was when he went for his master's to Stanford University. And that opened a big world for him, and he could use those opportunities and make the most of those opportunities to be where he is today. And he uses a great example that in 1920, there was a whole generation of students who graduated when the Spanish flu was happening. In 1970, there was a whole generation of students, or 1945, a whole generation of students who graduated when the Second World War was happening. And all these people were being thrown into the war situation and all. So you are graduating, maybe you'll tell your children and your grandchildren that I graduated the year COVID-19 was happening. But this is how I came out of it. This is what I did to stay afloat. This is how I used that period of the lockdown, and maybe the semi lockdown that we are in right now. Moving forward, when we get into another lockdown, no one knows what's going to happen. It's just so uncertain. But can you as individuals, can you utilize this opportunity to make the most of the situation presented in front of you? So there's two types of individuals in the world: those who are going to sit back and complain, and just worry about what's happening and keep worrying and keep worrying. There are the others who are going to do something, that, okay, this is what I have. I'm at home. Can I do something to make the most of it? And I have so many students who've been talking to me, and we've been discussing how they can make the most of this situation. And we do say, yes, why not work on your overall profile a lot more? Why not work on the interests and the activities that you love, and do them if you can do them at home? I know many students who were sort of obese or fat, and they've gotten into a huge fitness regime or gotten into great healthy diets. I think Prikshit ji has started going for walks, and he was claiming he's lost some weight. I don't know if he really has or not, but yes, 10 kgs. See, there you go. So he's used this lockdown productively over the last 3 months to lose 10 kgs. So these are just simple examples, but the bigger picture that I want you to understand is, can you do something that you always wanted to do, that you could not because you were so busy with school preparation and tuitions and this and that, and something that was happening in school or otherwise? So use this time, and I hope you have already been using it, and use it going forward on doing something that you really wanted to do and were never able. Maybe learn a new instrument, learn a new language. There are so many people who need your help. You are, maybe the fact that you are on screen with us today means you are from a privileged class. You have a device that can accept, that can have a video conference. You have internet. You are a privileged class already in a country like India. There are millions of our brothers and sisters who are out there. You look at the migrant situation. When they're moving, they don't have these devices. Their children don't have access to education. Your schools might have gone online and given you classes for the last 3 months, but they don't have schools that can go online, or they don't have devices where they can attend online. So can you give back to that community? Can you think of something that you can do to help these people, to help anyone around you? Maybe you live in a housing society. Look out, who are the elders in your society who cannot go out and get their groceries? Maybe you can go and help them, maybe help them cook a meal, right? So very simple things at a very rudimentary level, at a base level, at a ground level, that you can do to build up something that will satisfy you, that will give you pleasure and satisfaction, but at the same time build up your profile. A lot of colleges, increasingly even in India, are looking at what else do you do apart from academics, right? And I know Prikshitji will talk in more detail about this, how you can work on your personal profile, etc. But please try to look at any activity that you can do. I know we don't want you to go out amongst crowds and risk yourself, but whatever you can do from the comfort of your home or in a limited capacity in and around your community, could be in your housing society, could be outside. I have students who have tied up with an NGO as far as Gurgaon. I'm from Calcutta, and they've tied up with an NGO in Gurgaon. They are having masks made in Calcutta and shipping it to them. They are raising funds through crowdfunding campaigns and through the relatives and friends, shipping it to that and sending it online to that Gurgaon NGO, who is arranging for meals for migrants who are traveling out of Delhi into UP and Bihar, etc. So even from the comfort of your house, you can do something. So whatever it is that you love doing, please go ahead and think about what you can do. Learning a new skill. I remember another story I read. I love reading, and all of you would have heard of Steve Jobs. He was the founder of Apple. I mean, all of us, probably many of you, will have an Apple product. My wife and daughter have been trying to convince me to get Apple in my laptop, in my mobile. I don't have a single Apple product. They love Apple, but Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple, and Steve Jobs used to be in a university called Reed College in the US, and his parents were not very well off. After 2 years, I think, Steve Jobs decided to drop out of college because his parents could no longer afford, and he didn't think that this college education would actually give him something that is going to benefit him. He might as well take a drop year, take a couple of drop years and do something else, and then come back to college when he can afford it. But he still stayed on at Reed. He lived with his friends and he started attending classes without paying for them. He was auditing classes basically. So he would sit at the back and hear what the lecturers were saying, just for learning. They didn't have online learning at that time. This was 25, 30 years ago. If he had online learning, I'm sure he would have sat at his home and gone onto his laptop and gone onto the World Wide Web and done online learning. But we didn't have online learning. So he decided to sit in on those lectures and in Reed College and just learn whatever he could. One of the classes he attended was on calligraphy. Now, a tech guy like Steve Jobs, who's doing computers and loves technology, what would he do in a calligraphy class? Calligraphy is the art of handwriting, for those of you who don't know. And it seems that he would never have used to it. He actually went in because he was interested in learning about that. He was interested in learning how to write better, how fonts are made, how typesetting is done, etc., etc., etc. And for years after that, he never used that knowledge. So, but when he founded Apple and when he made that interface, all of us are using Windows right now. That's also something that Apple started. That whole interface where you can visually see what you're doing was something Apple started. And the fonts that he used at that time, that he designed at that time, were a result of his knowledge and his education that he got sitting in the back of that class in Reed College. So 15, 20 years later, he was able to use that without understanding the need for it when he was actually doing it. So nothing ever goes to waste. Please understand that. So no matter what it is you love, whatever your interests are, please go ahead and do it. Now, another thing that you would be looking at is, how do I select? And I know a couple of questions have come. What kind of colleges should I look at? How do I select careers and all that? I'll let PD sir talk about the careers and all that because he's the expert at it. I'll give you a few pointers on how you can now look at colleges. Now, traditionally, what were you doing? Not a lot has changed. The colleges are still there. You would have gone in and deep into the researching on those colleges on the World Wide Web, on the internet. You'd have gone to their brochures and seen what they're doing. You might have met them at the fairs that affairs organizes when they come in, and you go and meet them and you say, okay, I'm interested in your college. How do I take admission? Well, you have that platform now. So utilize this platform right now. Rather than a physical face-to-face, you are having a virtual face-to-face with these colleges. So yes, you're still doing the same thing. This is the new normal, as like people like to say. You don't need a face to face, you don't need a physical presence to be able to have a conversation. Many of us were not comfortable having a video call. We would just switch off our videos and then talk as if it's a phone, right? But now everyone is getting more and more comfortable with it. We worked with students in Calcutta, and we always used to work with students outside of Calcutta on a video interface. That was happening, but the Calcutta students always said, we want to come to your office, we want to have a face to face with you. Now they've gotten used to it, and even with the lockdown being lifted and we've started going to office a couple of days a week, the students are saying, we don't want to come, sir. We are happy with the video platform. Please let us know, even if it's 9 o'clock at night, we want to meet. We want to save that 2 hours that we were spending coming back and forth. Not an issue. So that is a new normal that people have gotten used to. So what this COVID has done, it has not changed the future, it has accelerated it. This would have happened 7 years, 10 years down the line. It is happening now. You are in a great time in history. Please take yourself as a generation who is going to make these changes, who is going to be resilient about it, who's going to understand what I need to do. Because for every new business idea, there is a need in society. Steve Jobs became a billionaire because he addressed a need for a better laptop, maybe. Facebook is so popular because they addressed a need for people to have a social connect even on an online platform. So every Amazon, Flipkart, whatever you look at, they were addressing a need in the market. You are the guys who will be able to understand what those needs are. Now, how do you prepare for this? I mean, let me not digress from the topic. How do you prepare for all this? Again, as I said, be open-minded. Look at all the options in front of you, learn new skills, go online to portals like Coursera, like edX, Udemy, etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of them. Many universities have put their all curriculum online for free. I know Harvard and MIT and a lot of international universities also have just said our courses are free for as long as the COVID lasts. So do Harvard level courses if you want to learn. No learning, remember, as I use the example of Steve Jobs, goes to waste. So you do whatever you need to do, but please keep learning. Look at colleges, go onto their websites, talk to your seniors who've been to those colleges. That is how you select. You cannot visit them physically, but nothing else has changed. That is the only thing that has gone away, is that the physical visit may not take place. But you would still have spoken to your alumni and your seniors to talk about how is this university, how is that university, right? You'd have still gone, met them at exhibitions, to meet them here. So all those things remain the same. Do not worry about those things right now. Make the most of the situation is what I would like to say. That's it for me. Just some specific that I wanted to share with you before handing over to PD, and then going into a lot more specifics that you might want addressed from our side, as well as any questions that you might have. So all yours, PD sir.
In fact, I further wanted to add on the most beautiful and the most unique part of our platform is that, as Nirmal harped, we are strictly focusing on a one-to-one interaction virtually. So here we have some of the top universities and colleges of India. Directly, the admissions team is here. At the click of a button, you can do a video chat, you can do a WhatsApp chat, or you can do straight away a phone call chat, get all your doubts cleared. So besides attending these eye-opener sessions, I would strongly suggest students to visit each of the exhibitions, each of the universities, and talk directly to the counselors who are present today. And to Mr. Nirmal and Mr. Prikshit, while we have a lot of questions from the attendees, do have a look at it and please try and include it in while you are speaking. So over to Mr. Prikshit.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanjeev. And Nirmal, that was, brilliant advice with a lot of amazing insights on how people have fought against the adverse conditions, and an amazing philosophy for students to pick up. Okay, if you heard him correctly, there are a lot of takeaways. Okay, now coming straight to your areas. Okay, let me I've already answered about 5 or 6 questions I've texted, okay, while while my colleague and dear friend was talking to you. Let's understand first thing, okay? Dear friends and parents, number one, the question that what is the present scenario for 2020? Students who are in 12th class, what is the present scenario? Will the board exams be held? In all probability, they will be. Now, will there be protests or issues or COVID scare? Yes, but somehow the exams are going to be held in the best possible scenario. Why? Because the students have to move to higher education. Now, how do they move to higher education? So in the best possible manner, they will be held. However, if things go down south, okay, if things really become difficult, then they will have to come out with a plan. That's one. Second, what about the exams? So for example, IIT JEE, which is the IIT main, which is the second one, most likely it's somewhere 18 to 23rd of July. All right, NEET is also in the last week of July. IIT Advanced gets pushed to 22nd or 23rd of August, right? That's again best possible scenario. Okay, CLAT in all probability is going to be 26th July or 2nd of August. The date has not been announced. Why? Because ALET, which is the National Law School Delhi, is on 9th of August and 15th August happens to be a holiday. So we don't know if 16th can be a possibility. So what I'm trying to say is all the entrance exams are being pushed. To your question, are the universities or the private universities, are they conducting their admission tests? Absolutely. Are they ready to support you? Yes, all private universities or other universities, they are ready to support you. Number one, how will they be conducting their test in a COVID scenario? So number one is, how are the tests conducted? Let's understand this. One is a paper pen test, okay? Now that's out of question right now because we're waiting for the situation to improve, and that's why a question mark over the board exams. Number two is going to be when we talk about computer-based test. Now, computer-based test, you have to go to a center, a physical center. So therefore, again, an issue, whether you go to a classroom or a computer center, the threat remains. Then the third comes a proctored mock. And then the high level is AI-led proctored exam, which is artificial intelligence-led proctored exam, where a proctor, you record a video and a proctor goes through and the AI helps you to, helps the proctor to understand if a student cheated, not cheated, indulged in unfair means and so on. Then you've got facial recognition, you've got sensor motions, freezing of creating an internet fair space you can't open, so on. Now, talking about how should you be preparing? Okay, now supposing I was an IIT JEE or a biotechnology or a medicine or a commerce or an art student, and I was looking at these entrance exams. Now they are getting pushed. So therefore, there is something called when do you peak? When are you ready? For example, SAT, many of us wanted to take the SAT exam to go abroad, but we couldn't. Now we are going to the last week of August or September. Let's see in the best possible scenario how and when it will be held. All right. And many universities will not even be looking at it. But another brilliant thing is a lot of private universities, about 35 to 40 universities in India, private universities are also open to taking SAT scores. So that's another brilliant initiative. All right. Now, so when we talk about government colleges, whether it's Delhi University, Kolkata University, Pune, tons of universities in Maharashtra, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and so on, they will also follow a due process. Have they started? They are all trying to work it out, how they could also have the system online, how the application could be online. Private universities, are they ready to conduct their entrance exams in an online space? Yes. How will they do it? How will they tweak the system? Everyone's trying. Now, in the best possible scenario, let's say, as per the UGC guidelines, let's say colleges have a fresh intake by September. All right. August is for the previous batches. September is for the fresh intake. Now, let's say the best possible scenario that happens. Worst possible, it doesn't happen. Will they shift the classes to online system? Absolutely. Are they all geared to do this? Yes. Is this the best? No. But you know, why do we go to college? We go, we study, we bond, we meet our friends, we do a lot of activities. There is a lot of peer-to-peer learning, right? But that doesn't mean if the buildings are shut, education has stopped. It's my favorite line. Buildings are shut, but education is still going on. Imagine, I mean, we used to think, oh my God, I have to go, good old days, you had to go physically to a university, pick up the prospectus, pay, pick up, read. Today, you just go online and see what Affairs is doing. It's saying, hold on, you stay at home. I'm going to get top quality speakers, vice chancellors and deans to talk to you. I'm going to get career coaches. I'm going to get Nirmal and Prikshit to come here. You sit in your bedroom. You enjoy your Maggi or your chicken tikka or your whatever you're eating. I'm sorry, the Punjabi in me, a chicken tikka. Okay, I know it's Kolkata. Okay, so no chicken, I mean fish and whatever. So I'm saying you are sitting in your bedroom, in your living room, and see how the world has changed. Now, it's not that the world wouldn't have changed. The world would have changed maybe in few years, but COVID has pushed all of us to change it immediately. All right, talking about commerce and arts. Dear students, someone asked me, before I take up this question, someone asked me, what if my percentile is 96, 97 in my IIT main, and I'm still struggling because IIT main 2 is not happened, JEE Advanced has not happened, what do I do? So what about private colleges? What about the SRMs? What about the VITs? What about the Shivnathas? What about the Manipals? What about so many colleges? Okay, because I'm sorry, I can't name. There are 50, 100, 200, whatever universities, colleges. Look at applying to them, have a sort of a backup. All right. Okay, great. What about government colleges in the G? Now I'm saying, even if you are inclined to go to a government college, okay, let's assume you want to go to an All India Institute, you want to go to NITs, you want to go to triple IITs, you want to go to IITs, you want to go to national law schools, wherever. Before the national ones or the government ones come up, you have to block a seat with a private institution. Why? Because you can't go right down to the wire, okay, to say, oh my God, what if that doesn't happen? So for example, a lot of these universities will give you admission on the basis of your 12th class exams, 12th class result. Can you wait till then? No. So you have to block your seats, okay? You have to have a plan B, plan C in operation. Next, commerce students, all the business management programs, all the BComs and the Eco Honors or the business economics or other programs that are happening. Most of them take admission. Most of these institutes give you admission on the basis of 12th class marks or entrance exams or interviews or whatever. All the entrance exams are going to happen. The law exams are still pending. Management exams are pending. Oh, what about design exams? Whether UI, UX design, whether product design, whether multimedia, whether interior, whether automobile, interaction design, you name whatever design, all is still possible. What about media, communication, public relations, mass comm, multimedia? Entire world is still open. So right from Xavier's to IP College, to your Christ, to your Simbi, to your Manipals, to your Amities, to your whatever universities that you can think of, there are, you will experience, this is a brilliant opportunity where instead of saying, oh, I don't know, I'm only looking at this university, I'm not going to check another university. My request is, what do you stand to lose? You only stand to gain. You will go to one university and talk to them. You will get to know something. Then you'll be able to, and how will you be able to compare university to university? Look at this. Their program. Most important is their program. What would you study? Okay. What would you study? The course, the nitty-gritties of the course, the faculty, the exchange program, their collaborations, their research capability, their labs, placements, industry and academia collaboration, how realistic, how pragmatic, how relevant their courses are going to be. So, so this way, you will get to know a lot about these universities, and more awareness, you will be in a position to choose wisely. You get my point? Okay. I know Nirmal would love to talk about this area. How do you select a university? Okay, Nirmal, if you could just address this one question, what like I've also given some amount of this thing that you could look at. What is your expert advice to them? How to choose, on what basis they should choose a university or a college?
That's a great question, PD, and I'm glad you brought that up, and you mentioned some very, very relevant points. So let's look at each one of them maybe in more detail. So number one, a lot of you would want to know the location. Some of you may love to be in a city, like Bangalore or Kolkata, or I mean, we have a train loads of students going from Kolkata to Bangalore. They have these education specials, and students love Bangalore for whatever reason. So you got to have your right reasons, that am I going to be happy in Pune or Bangalore or Mumbai or Delhi or Surat or Indore, wherever in the country it might be. So is location important for you? And for everything that we are talking about, you have to understand what fits you well. Let me use this example I love using is when you go to buy a pair of jeans in the market, do you buy the best pair of jeans that is there, or do you buy one that fits you really well, that you look good in? Right? You will obviously buy something that fits you well, and that really that shines on your personality. You're not going to be like Govinda and wear a yellow pair of jeans just because you're not like that. You're going to be someone who's going to wear a normal pair of jeans. So when we select colleges, we have to look at what fits us better, and this is the best fit matching you need to do. Look at location and weather. Am I going to be happier in this kind of weather or that kind of weather? Is location going to be important for me? Do I have relatives in a particular city I want to live with? Right? So let me choose colleges in that city. So these are things that will happen, that you will look at when it comes to location. Then, as PD said, what is the kind of faculty they have? Do they have faculty who are invested in the learning of their students? Are they going to come to class, or do they have office hours outside where they're going to meet you on a one-to-one basis and help you out? Tuitions, what you had in school and all, are not that popular when you're in college. Yes, you can take tuitions, but a lot of your learning will happen in the classroom and on a one-to-one basis with the professors in college. So please look out for colleges that have faculty who are accessible, who are there to help you with the learning, and who will not just be in a lecture hall with 200, 300 students and you are one number and don't even know your face. So you maybe you'll be someone who loves that. Maybe you'll be someone who says, no, I want to be in a smaller classroom with 30, 40, 50 students in a class. So if that be a concern for you, try to find out a university or a college which matches with your needs in terms of what is the class size, what is the kind of faculty you're looking. Do you want that hand holding? If you do, then yes, you need to go to a smaller university or a smaller college where the faculty will handhold you through the process. Okay, what are the placement outcomes? Right? Are companies coming to the campus or not for placements? What kind of record do they have overall placements? And not just the kind of companies that are coming, but what are the packages? Right? Is everyone getting? So a lot of universities, what they do is they give you an average figure for a package. And usually what happens is one person may have got 20 offers and they add all that up. So be very careful. It's got to be one person with one offer, maybe the highest offer. It should not be that one person's 20 offers gets added 20 times. So please do look at the placements, look at how effective their placements have been, and take that forward. Okay. In addition to that, you'll also have to look at the curriculum. You'll have to look at research opportunities. If you're a science student and you want to look at research, maybe try to see if the college, if the professors are doing research, and you can join hands with them to help them with the research, to co-present papers, etc. Look at those factors. Look at the kind of students who are going there. Are they from all over the country? Because one of the things about going to university is not just what you're learning in the classroom, what you're learning in terms of your academics. It's also the interactions you're having with your peers. I don't remember anything I studied in college. I'm honestly admitting to you. I did economics and computer science, and I have no clue what I learned. I've forgotten all that long time ago. I probably never used all that in my life, maybe indirectly, but directly I've never used. But what I remember about my college is the time spent in the hostel with my friends, maybe late at night at 2 a.m. Early in the morning, and debating about politics, debating about the next big thing that's going to happen in technology, debating about some social issue that India is facing and how we as individuals can change that. So a lot of your learning will be these interactions you have. So if that is important for you, look for a college that is going to have residences on campus, where you're going to stay in the dormitories, where you're going to make those connections, get the network happening, and have these conversations. Because ideas flow from each other. Remember that. You don't live in a silo. You will help each other with new ideas. You will find people that you will grow older with. You will find people who might become your business partners, whom you might come up with a great idea and you say, let's three of us do this and incubate a company. So whatever it is, or maybe different backgrounds of people. So you are in your comfort and your cocoon and your comfort zone. You have to come out of that. In Calcutta, yes, we are used to this comfortable surroundings. We have our afternoon siesta. I'm from Calcutta, so don't mind me saying all that. We love our mach and bhat, etc. And Prikshit loves it also. So he's smiling. I can see the big smile on his face. But beyond that, there is life beyond that. There's the rest of the country. So please do go to a college if if that's the kind of exposure you want, where you're going to interact with people from all over the country and learn from each other. So all these factors will come in, and I know Prikshit did mention a few of them. I've added on to a few that you should look at. Most important, obviously, is going to be academics. Do they have the programs I want? Right? That's really important for you. What kind of programs do they have in that? Does the faculty who teach this program, is that faculty qualified? Has that faculty published and written research papers and all that? What is the level of knowledge the faculty has? What are the seniors in my college, in that particular college, who have gone on to the industry? Where are they placed? Have they got good job offers? Have they been placed? Are they rising up wherever they are they the Sundar Pichais of the world? Are they the Steve Jobs of the world? Are they mid-level people? Are they senior level people? Look at all these things. Spend time. You have time right now. A lot of us will just go and buy the best brand out there without understanding whether we are a fit for or not. Please spend the time to understand, am I going to be happy? This is going to be 3 to 4 years of your life. Please understand if you're going to be happy there or not. And will that be a learning environment for you to move on later on to do whatever you want in the world? So that would be my take on how to select a college, and whether it is COVID or without COVID. These are things that are going to happen. These are things you're going to look at anyways. Right now, you might have to be a little bit more creative to look at these things, right? Because you can't have that human interaction. But yeah, despite that, you can still look at all these things when you're selecting colleges. Prikshit, on this note, if you can also maybe try to address, a lot of people may be worried about, okay, I was thinking of doing mechanical engineering. Is that still a good option for me? I was thinking of doing economics and business. Is that a great option? Or should I look at different careers? What
Yeah.
careers may come up in the future now with COVID happening, et cetera, et cetera? Why don't you try to address that a
Yeah,
bit?
I'm just picking up their questions only.
Yeah,
Quickly. So one question I'm picking. I'm sorry because I've been texting
yeah.
and also listening to Nirmal. Urvi asked, I'm in class 12th right now. Will there be any reduction in the syllabus for CBSE exams? Yes, there is a possibility. CBSE and other boards are contemplating. However, we'll see when it's highlighted, when they talk about it. But is there a possibility? Yes. Is there also a possibility, and how will they decide this? Okay, they will decide upon the man days lost. They will also see what kind of a disruption in the education system happened, and they will also look at, in fact, even entrance exams from a standpoint of NEET, JEE. They will also be looking at how they can work on the material. All right, which is the tweak the what is asked in the exam. Now, next question is, I want to take up international relations for graduation. So can you suggest me some good colleges? Absolutely. Right now, please understand, when you talk about international relations, IR at one point of time used to be a domain for abroad. Okay, though political science was very much there in India, IR used to be. So is there a lot of changes? I mean, are there a lot of changes? Yes, there are. When you talk about the liberal arts universities in India, okay, they are bringing in. So do you have decent options now? Yes, you can explore them in India. All right. I also had another brilliant question, which I would love to answer. What skills are a must to learn during these times for embracing the new normal? All right. So now listen to this properly. If you're able to understand this, you will be able to get the maximum out of this webinar. All right. What kind of skills? Number one, are you sitting at home and just saying, number one, things are beyond my control. Let's scream, let's shout, let's cry. We can't do anything. I have no idea whether board exams will happen. I'm heartbroken, I'm depressed, and so on. Absolutely. It is tough for young students. It is tough for parents. It is tough for everyone. So right now, the most important skill that we need to have is a positive attitude. You need to embrace this change. Whether you scream, shout, cry, nothing will happen. Are people sitting at home and studying and working? I can give you countless examples because I'm coaching thousands of students. So it is, what is the first thing that you need to do? You need to sit at home and prepare with due importance given to your emotional and mental well-being. Listen to this word: emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Absolutely. If it is too many webinars, too many online programs, then you need to give rest to your eyes. You need to give rest to your mind. Maybe meditation, maybe music, maybe maybe just walking inside the house, maybe gardening, maybe doing household chores, maybe just playing with your friends, maybe getting few of your friends together and maybe doing a Pomodoro. Pomodoro technique is, Pomodoro is like 25 minutes, 30 minute capsules. You just come there, start, study, break, study, break, study, break. And after a few sessions, deep break. So you need to have this. Number 2. Do you need to be working right now? Absolutely. Do you need to be going through and talking to universities? Yes. Do you need to be aware about career opportunities? For example, right in the very beginning, someone asked me, if I'm an engineer, I want to be an engineer, but I also want to know what else. So you could talk to these universities and say, I am loving physics. Can you tell me what programs can you show me in physics? What can I do with just physics and maths? How I love maths. How can I pick maths with science, maths with commerce, maths with arts, maths into maths and statistics, maths into maths and finance, maths into data science, maths into data analytics? What programs these universities have? You're sitting at home and you have access to tons of universities. Few could be in Kolkata, few could have their campus in Kolkata, few could have their campus all across the country, few could be in certain regions. As my dear friend Nirmal has talked about, one option I have is, no, I've been born and brought up in Kolkata. I would rather stay here and do my education. Very fair, fair. That's your choice. But does anyone stop you from creating a backup option in Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi, wherever? No. So, for example, you are interested in technology. Now, which are the tech hubs in the country? Bangalore. It's the 3rd biggest startup capital in the world. Possible? Yes. You want to study finance, banking, insurance sector, Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, and so on. Depending upon, so you want to talk about literature, English, journalism, stay in Kolkata, but why can't we go to Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, and other cities? Why not? I remember last year, there were these 2 Kolkata students who came to me during the affairs exhibition when we used to go to that skating rink, okay, last year. So this boy tells me, I'm from this school in Kolkata and I'm going to get about 97% this year for sure. So I said, okay, so what would you do? So Kolkata, Jadavpur University, this university. I said, very good, great. But why aren't you looking at Delhi University, SRCC College? No, sir, no. I would stay here, stay with my parents. Great. You know what happened? He got a 98.75. He's studying at SRCC. This year, he'll be going to the 2nd year. And I asked him, what is the difference? He said, sir, the difference is my world has opened. Even after graduation, I may settle down back in my city, but the exposure that I've got is tremendous. We only go to these colleges and cities for exposure. Next, coming back to another skill set that's important. Okay, so attitude, right mindset. You have to take care of your emotional and physical well-being. You have to do your proper research on universities, on colleges, on programs. You have to do that. And for that, you need to have more conversations. You need to dig deep. You need to have proper backups. Now, absolutely, you want to reach here. Great, perfect. But reaching here, you will get to know only in September and October. Sorry, if I were you, I would lock a college, a decent backup college in the month of June, July, August, so that I have a very firm backup. Next, no, sir. It is getting so late. Sir, it is getting so late. I would rather have a gap year and come back next year. No, sir, I would rather stay at home and study and go to a coaching institute. The other day, someone asked me, sir, I am not sure about this year. This year, I'll drive myself to Kota. I'm going to study in Kota. Next year, I'm looking at college. No, not at all. As a coach, I will never guide you. Tell me something. What if Rajasthan, by God's grace, everything goes well? What if Kota doesn't open for next 6 months? Your next year is gone. So my request to you as a coach will be, you have a strong backup. Park yourself in a university. Park yourself in a college. Study. You want to take the exam next year, by all means, go ahead. Okay? Now, supposing you want to go to, you want to crack an exam, a BBA exam. You don't get admission in your dream college. Take admission somewhere, study BBA, first year, study BCom or study whatever commerce subjects. And if you still feel, yes, I want to make it to my dream destination or whatever, there's no one who can stop you from writing it again next year. But park yourself somewhere. Why park yourself? Is because, please understand, let me ask you a simple question. All of you used to go out, meet friends, bond, do exercises, go to the gym, go to the tuitions, play, do so much, right? You were all fine. What happened? March 20th, the Prime Minister of India said a Janta curfew. And from March 23rd or 25th, we were in lockdown. Now, are you liking it? No. Are you struggling? Yes. So how would you sit at home for 1 year and just prepare and wait for next year? And what if next year, imagine all those people who dropped there last year. They were thinking 2020 is our year. 2020 is COVID's year. So where are they? Another year drop. So you have no control over circumstances. You have no control over external environment. You have control over what you do in your 24 hours. You have that control. Are you there with me? Great. Great.
Mr. Prikshit.
Sanjeev, any questions?
Yes, I think there are too many questions which we've been bombarded on Facebook as well. And we have a few questions here as well. So while we are running against time, I could not post all the questions here, but I have read all the questions. And in short, students are quite confused during these uncertain times. So as a just a takeaway mantra, as a pill, like people are propagating, what is in crisply, if you and Nirmal say, give advice to these youngsters on how is the best way forward, that will really be appreciated.
Nirmal, over to you.
Okay. So as Prikshit already said, be open-minded, be resilient, be ready to adapt to any situation you have, because you cannot prepare for what is ahead of you. I mean, you cannot predict what is ahead of you, but you can prepare for it. So, and very correctly, I said that what do we have control over? Let's look at the circle of influence. This is our circle of influence. Everything we have control over is inside this. Everything outside of this, outside this circle, is something that the environment is bombarding us with. We have no clue. We cannot control that at all. What happens in society, with the politics of the country, with the disease, with the pandemic, we don't have control. Be open-minded to make the most of the circumstances. Control this really well. Make the learn your skills. Be prepared for any adversity that you might have, so that you can manage the situation outside of your zone. And I love using this, that there is no reason to worry. There is no use worrying. Worrying is like being in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do. You're going back and forth. It gives you something to do, but it does not move you anywhere. You don't go ahead, or you just stay there in the same place, moving back and forth. So don't do that. Be resilient, be focused, make the most of whatever you have in front of you. We will all come out of it. Every generation before you, every year before you, whenever there's been a problem, people have had the spirit to come out. They fought against it and they have won in the end. So let's go with that positive mindset. That's very important. Your fight is inside here, not anything outside. Don't worry about those things. Just keep this very focused and straight. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nirmal. My mantra is very simple. Sleep on time, get up on time. Have a proper schedule. It's almost like your school is happening, but your school is now within your living room or bedroom. So get up on time, sleep on time. Number one, eat healthy. All right. Give yourself breaks. Study hard. Study hard. It's a competitive environment. Lakhs and lakhs of people are getting out of jobs. The only thing that you can do is give yourself education, whether skilled education, whether bookish education, whether theoretical education. Give yourself knowledge and education. One, instead of not sleeping at night and watching Netflix, Prime TV, Voot, whatever, invest your time properly. I'm not saying don't do that, but tell me something. You finished all the Netflix series. There is no institute which will select you. Say how many maximum series you've seen or what have you done. There is no question on that. Okay. Important thing is use your time properly. I have seen a lot of students. What are you doing? At 4 or 5, the world is alive. and then they sleep till 10, 11, 12. These are depressive tendencies. I'm not saying don't do that. Sometime, someday, yes, enjoy, but most properly give yourself fair time to practice. And in case you lose hope, motivation is like every now and then you need it. In case you lose hope, please understand, go watch videos, go listen to music, go listen to inspirational stories, go talk to someone, talk to your friends, stay alive, stay safe, healthy, give it your best. All the best.
Thank you so much, Nirmal and Prikshit. It was a very, very enlightening session. So we wish all the best to all the attendees. While we bid you adieu, we would also strongly advise you to spend some more quality time on the virtual admissions fair platform, interact with all the counselors, admissions officers, get all your queries sorted. Many of them are also offering scholarships to make the best use out of it. And we have a great lineup of VCs and eminent educators tomorrow. So stay connected, stay tuned. We are here till Monday. See you soon. All the best. Take care.
All the best, guys. And it was lovely being here. Thank you, Sanjeev, Vivek, for the platform. I hope it helped everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Great initiative. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.